David Cameron is the British Foreign Secretary. Uh, he's pictured here in traditional attire. Currently, he is on a mouthing off tour to tell the US that we need to pony up more funds to help Ukraine. Now, as a warning, for those of you who don't know me as well, I'm a raving Anglophobe, and I also get really upset about people who misuse history, especially the history revolving around Mr. H and the National Socialists of Germany. So this is likely to get a little bit salty. So, David William Donald Cameron, Baron Cameron of Chipping Norton and His Majesty's Most Honourable Privy Council. Holy that title. Why does America have a Second Amendment? I think we know why now. That crap wouldn't fly here. Maybe the Brits could learn something from us. So this inbred twit says that I do not want us to show the weakness displayed against Hitler in the 30s. He came back for more, costing us far more lives to stop his aggression. This tea-gargling bastard has the insolent audacity to compare Ukraine to 1930s Europe. Now, oddly, he's right, just not in the way he thinks. There are some valid comparisons here, but not at all for the British-approved court history that most U.S. historians and legacy media adults accept without question. What this sheep-buggering buffoon wants us to try to infer is that the appeasers kept giving Hitler what he wanted until he was uncontrollable. Author and historian Carol Quigley has presented evidence to the contrary. The British upper-class establishment decided in the 30s that the smart thing to do was let socialist Germany rearm and consolidate so that the Germans could be the speed bump to stop Stalin from overrunning Europe. Britain broke the financial restraints of the Treaty of Versailles, not to appease Adolf, but to empower him. Britain signed a naval treaty with Germany that violated Versailles over the protests of France. The British elite ignored intelligence that they fully believed that showed that the German police force was massive and being used to hide the training of an army. When France asked for help when Germany occupied the Rhineland, Britain said, "Don't worry about it. We know exactly what we're doing." Britain was okay with Austria, the Sudetenland, and the Danzig Corridor, not because they felt sorry for Germany. No, they thought they were smarter than everybody else, and that Germany would do the bidding of the British Empire and wait in Central Europe for the Soviet juggernaut to come rolling at them. And that was a up beyond all measure. So much for background. How does Ukraine compare to World War II in reality? Well, in World War II timeframe, Poland knew it couldn't stand against Germany, so they were ready to negotiate. Poland, that is, was on the far east side of Europe, and Britain had no capacity to help militarily there. Yet, they told the Poles, "Don't worry, mates, we've got your back." And the Poles fought until they were routed while Britain watched on. Boris, also known as Alexander Boris de Fifel Johnson, went into Ukraine right after the initial Russian advance was halted, and Ukraine was ready to negotiate. Guess what this slag did? He told Ukraine to break off talks and fight. Currently, he's denying it, but Ukrainian officials are saying, yes, that's exactly what happened. Boris Johnson came over to Ukraine and said, "Fight, don't negotiate." So, just like Poland 1939, Britain goads a far Eastern European country to go to war with a bigger power that Britain has no ability to help. And just like World War II, when they got their dicks caught in a bee-filled knothole, they come screaming for help from the United States. Now, I mean this as no slight here on the British people. Your leaders are a bunch of stupid, cowardly, elitist, and arrogant wankers. And we Americans are saddled with the same type of slack-jawed idiots who look at the world as masses of people to be taxed or fed into the meat grinder. Now, it's bad enough we have to put up with this from our own moronic politicians, finger waving at us to sacrifice more. We don't need it from across the Atlantic. Finally, more importantly, Ukraine should remember the scariest lesson of World War II of all. Britain was willing to set Poland up to be overran in World War II. The largest in history was fought over it. And when it was all over, the Poles didn't end up liberated or free. They ended up under communist tyranny for the next half century. Hey, Ukraine, Britain has your back, just like it had Poland's. So, what do you think of that particular take on history? Is Britain shooting off its mouth at the expense of Ukrainian bodies on the field? Tell me what you think below. Please smash the like button. If the YouTube algorithm brought you here and you're not a regular subscriber, please subscribe. And if you know someone who might find this interesting, share it with them. Thank you for spending time with me this evening. Hope to see you again in a future video.